We talking rom-com, we talking action, we talking drama and movie classics. Whatever you want, yo, we have it. Cause we talking movies on the podcast. So I married a film critic. So I married a film critic. So I married a film critic. Hey honey, I just want to talk about the movie like casually. You don't have to bring up the cinematography. Honestly, let's just talk about like how the characters were fun. Married a film critic. So I married a film critic.
Welcome to So I Married a Film Critic, a discussion between a professional film critic and lecturer and me, his wife of over 20 years, who just likes to watch movies for fun. I'm your co-host, Julia.
Hey everyone, this is Barry the Film Critic.
And tonight we decided to talk about 2026's Send Help with Rachel McAdams.
Yes, the new film from Sam Raimi. I met him. I like him so much. I've been a fan of his for years. I met him at Comic-Con. Let me start with that. Couldn't have been nicer. It was really great because a friend of mine had just interviewed him. He's like, Barry, come over here. Come meet Sam Raimi. I'm like, okay. So I walk over there and he's dressed in a suit and tie like he always is. I've rarely seen him photographed without wearing a suit and tie. He does it on the set everywhere. And he could not have been cooler. And I told him, yeah, like I'm teaching a class. And I didn't want to tell him that I have some of his movies in my class because I didn't want to bring up the movies just in case, he wasn't. I know one of the films he did, Dark Man, which is one of my favorite movies. I didn't want to tell him that, like, yeah, I'm like going to include that on the 90s syllabus that I teach because I had that where it was Spike Lee, where I talked to Spike Lee. And I mentioned the movie he did called Miracle at St. Anna, and a really great conversation where we were having, and his face kind of dropped because I brought up this movie he did that didn't go well for him. I didn't want that to happen here, so I didn't name any of his movies. I just told him, yeah, like I got some of your films coming up, and he was so cool. He's like, oh man, well tell your students I said hi, man. That's great. I'm like, oh, don't worry, Sam Raimi, I will. Yeah, he couldn't have been cooler, and he had just dropped Spider-Man 3, but he was at Comic-Con.
It'd be funny if he was like, which movies? And then he gives you the stink eye.
Yeah, that would have been rough. But I mean, I honestly, he's Dark Man and A Simple Plan are two of my favorite films, and I think I would include this one on the list too. I mean, I love this film.
Yeah.
I think this is one of his best films. It's great because it's a studio film, and you would say it's out of character for him, but not really. And it fits in his wheelhouse because this movie is it's gross and hilarious.
Yeah.
But also deceptively smart in the way it deals with character. So.
Yeah, I have to say, I do enjoy a horror comedy. There are a few genres of horror that I like, and this is actually one of them.
And you've seen Army of Darkness, so you know how funny his movies can be. I've not shown you Evil Dead 1 and 2. I don't know how you do with those. Those movies in terms of...
You've shown me Evil Dead, didn't you?
No. Army of Darkness.
Oh, okay.
Which it's funny because it works as a standalone, and most people watch it not even knowing that there's Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
But it's actually the third one.
Because you showed me a movie like about Thanksgiving.
That's an Eli Roth movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's a horror comedy, and I actually enjoyed it, even though there are parts of it that are so disgusting. But I almost prefer that over just like really, really scary, like jump out of your seat because you're so scared.
You know, the thing is, though, and I've talked to my class about this. I teach a class on horror films. Watching horror movies, the honest response is to laugh.
Yeah.
When things are so gross, things are so horrible, we do tend to laugh anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice when a film is intentionally trying to make you laugh. And especially when it works, when it's intentionally funny. As you know, every April Fool's Day, I watch April Fool's Day, which is, it is a slasher film, but it's also really funny.
It is funny. And it's not actually that gross or anything
No,
that.
especially considering what the twist is. It kind of undermines everything. But
exactly.
But I think, Raimi being the guy who gave us the Evil Dead, I think he's one of the best at combining the really, really gross kind of horror, but also like with this really wonderful, subversive, even slapstick humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get into it because you told me I was going to like this movie after you saw it. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, I love Rachel McAdams. I think she's great. I didn't know who this guy, the other guy she plays off of. I've never seen him before. Well, actually,
Have you seen the
I
Maze Runner?
did, but it's been a really long time. Like
Okay.
the Maze Runner, I mean, that's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, the Maze Runner. You know.
And honestly, I've only seen the first one. I know it's a trilogy now.
Yeah,
I saw the first one. I
exactly.
thought it was really good, but
Yeah.
I had no desire to keep
I
Maze
wasn't
running.
like, let's keep going with
Yeah,
this.
man.
Yeah.
Let's do 3 Maze Runners. No, and maybe, and honestly, maybe I should. You know what else I haven't finished? I feel guilty even admitting this because everyone tells me the last 2 are the best ones. I haven't seen the last 2 of the Hunger Games
We've already talked about this.
with Philip Seymour Hoffman's
Yeah.
in it. I haven't
Yeah.
even seen him in those movies.
I know.
So.
We talked about on a previous episode how I binged all of them on my own.
Well, have we talked in a previous episode about how Rachel McAdams' prior film was "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret"? That's the last movie she did prior to this, and that was years ago.
We may have mentioned it, and we really liked that one.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
superb in that.
Yeah.
She's been so good for so long. I'm kind of wondering why she's only been up for an Oscar once, and it was for Spotlight. And that's a great movie, and she's great in it, but she's barely in that.
Yeah, she should get an Oscar for this.
I would love for that to happen. It would be pretty wild because this movie came out in January. Most January movies are forgotten
I know.
by December.
know.
I mean, it was kind of a miracle this year. Sinners, which was a March film and wound up being an Oscar contender. It almost never happens.
Yeah. Let's do a campaign. Just
Oh yeah,
kidding.
let's push hard for that. No,
Okay.
it's not a bad idea. I'd love for it to happen, but yeah, it doesn't always happen.
Okay, well, our movie opens with Rachel McAdams. She plays Linda Little, and she works in an office. She's a corporate strategist. She's been working in this office for over a decade. She's really good at crunching numbers. She's one of those really smart people, but also they make her look hideous.
I love that, and this is, and I'll probably repeat myself in some way throughout this discussion, but like this is not Rachel McAdams of Morning Glory or Red Eye.
No.
She is the effervescence that she conveys is there, but Linda Little is kind of repulsive, kind of insufferable.
Yeah, yeah. She's like the
yeah.
kind of person, if you've ever worked in an office where you're like, thank you for the report, just like, don't look at me. She apparently smells kind of bad, and her hair is just a mess.
You know, if she was a man, she'd be Milton Wadhams.
Yes.
She'd be Milton
She'd
from
be Milton
Office
from
Space.
Office Space. Exactly.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
And it's crazy that it's Rachel McAdams playing it, but she nails it because, we get why this person is valuable, but why this person is very hard to like, and and hard to invite into social circles, and and it's wonderful because it puts us in a weird position because this is just one of those actresses who is just so eminently likable, but the character is and she leans into that. This is not like a subtle. And the movie itself isn't subtle, but she leans into what is disagreeable about her, and that's great because we get right away how everybody else sees her, and that's key.
So we find out that basically the CEO is going to retire. His son, Bradley, is going to take over this new position. And now there's another VP role that's up for promotion. And the original CEO had promised Linda that this would be her job.
The original CEO, we only see the portrait of him, and he's played so to speak by Bruce Campbell. Really wonderful visual cameo. Otherwise, he's not in the film. But yeah,
because he dies, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah, we're
that's
introduced
why.
to Dylan O'Brien as Bradley.
Yeah, and he's. It's like the good old boys club. Again, if you've ever worked in an office, this is very common where the guys are basically, they look like they never work ever. And the women are doing all of the heavy lifting, sitting at their desks.
And you've had this experience,
Yes,
right?
I totally
what's weird
have.
is I haven't. Because I worked at a publishing company and I had a cubicle job where it was matriarchal. I was one of the few guys.
Yeah.
And, I definitely got pushed around a lot. And, I'm not complaining because it was a good experience and I love the people I work with. But, I mean, it was rough at times. So I felt like Linda Little. That's what
you
I felt
did?
like.
Oh,
but you know what? I bet they saw me as Milton Wadhams. So fair, it's fair.
They're like, Barry, where'd you put the stapler?
I didn't know how to take calls at first. And, it was a situation where I had to take orders over the phone.
Yeah.
And what I would do for the first month I was there, when no one was around, I would accidentally hang up on the customer because I didn't want to deal with it. I kept doing that.
They're like, why are our sales numbers so low?
Why has Barry not entered a single order? Yeah. So one day I did it, and my boss was over my shoulder watching me as I did it. It was Beverly. So fortunate she didn't fire me right then and there. But she like walked me.
I don't think you ever told me
Yeah, well,
that.
I didn't want to tell you that part. Oh, work is great, honey. It's going well. But yeah, like, no, she walked me through it. And like,
Oh my
and I
God.
had a lady who was my supervisor whose cubicle was across from me. Her name was Debbie, and she was tough. She was all over. Yeah. So there's some.
Well, those are
yeah.
like the people that are lifers in a like a
Yeah.
department. And then when newbies come on, they're like, I've got to
Well, I know, 'cause-
explain this again.
Because I got downsized, and then I came back like a year or two later to say hi to some people, and I ended up and it was all very friendly. So I went and said hi to Debbie, and I noticed that she took my nameplate because she has a collection of nameplates of all the people who are no longer there, and I saw like my name Barry Worst like stacked with her. I'm like, oh, there I am. I'm like one of the casualties, and she like.
She's like, this is my nameplate cemetery.
Yeah, she has like my tombstone. But anyway, like in all seriousness, like that was a really good experience. Like I liked working with tough women.
Okay.
I really liked that.
My experience was always being in meetings where I was in a female-run department, and we were always in meetings with other men because they were all the heads of the other departments. And when you're in a meeting and people are brainstorming, and then they're like, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you do that? It's like we were always the ones that got handed off all the work. And everyone else was like, great, well, we'll see you at the next meeting. And me and my boss are like, how do we always leave with more work than everybody else?
Oh my God, you were like this movie.
Yes. It was crazy. She did advocate for me to get a really substantial raise, though, while I was there. So it wasn't all bad. I got to do some really great things. But yes, I can sort of relate to this, although I did try to present myself better than Linda does in this film. I actually brushed my hair, and
Would you ever eat a tuna fish sandwich at your desk? My answer, yes.
Yes.
I've done that.
I would eat a tuna sandwich at my desk, but I wouldn't eat it with red lipstick on and then have it smeared on my face and then see the president walk down and be like, oh my gosh, let's talk right now.
Yeah.
No. No.
Our sympathies are with her, but we get it that, I don't know. Like, I think like this movie plays very fair. It's
If
not
this-
just one way or the other.
If this wasn't the movie it was, someone would have come in and like given her a makeover. And so she could like girl boss up, you know?
yeah.
And
Total
it'd
cliche.
be like Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
yeah.
this movie is like the Devil Wears Prada,
Yes.
except then you take it to like a primal level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She basically goes into Bradley's office because she sees the new guy that has been like
Total nitwit.
hired over her, and she's like, this guy doesn't know anything, They're in Bradley's office like putting on his little putting green and like just being idiots together. And so she goes in there and he's like, I just don't know if you're like the right type of person, but he kind of placates her and says, all right, you can come with us on this trip, but he's only doing it so that she'll do all the work on the trip.
Yeah.
They just need somebody to take notes, write the reports, crunch the numbers so that they look smart. That's the only reason they're going to take her.
Yeah.
The other scene that I thought was funny, we get a little insight into Linda outside of work. She's sitting at home with her bird watching Survivor.
She's got survival books all over the shelves. It's a passion of hers. She's watching survival the way I watch the Oscars. This is a very big deal for her. Nothing else matters. Yeah, it's great.
Talking to her bird.
Yeah.
And you're like, does she have any friends? This is kind of sad.
It's sad. It's sweet. Yeah, it's definitely, it's the window we need because it's not, they don't give you too much of this.
It's not very long, this part.
No, and which is wise because I think the first act it's brisk, and I think if you made it longer, I think it would kind of undermine. Like you don't want to wait too long to get to the punchline.
Exactly. So then now everybody's on an airplane
Yeah.
together, like a private jet, and the part that is so sad is that they find Linda's Survivor tryout video, and all the guys are watching it laughing at her.
Yeah.
So she's like in the back of the plane working on this report that he really needs. And, she's concentrating. And then she looks up and she sees everybody laughing and kind of huddled around a laptop. And they're just like laughing at her, making fun of her. So then she deletes her report.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, Linda is taking charge.
That's the first step she takes.
That's the first step. Yeah. But then there's some crazy turbulence.
And fate intervenes.
And this is like
the hand of God hits this plane. It's great.
Well, this is something out of like that movie where people die horribly.
The mind boggles. Which one? Like Alive?
No.
Fearless? Like which airplane movie? Final Destination.
Yes.
Oh,
this
sorry,
is like
sorry.
a Final Destination
like
airplane.
Where people die horribly. That's most of the movies I watch.
Yeah.
So, which Friday the 13th part?
It's like a Final Destination crash.
You're
plane
absolutely
crash.
right. Yes.
'Cause,
Right.
like,
it's very over the top.
It's a very over the top. I mean, Donovan, like, she's the only one pretty much buckled in at this point because
Right.
everyone was huddled around this laptop.
Right.
And so,
Dude
broing, yeah. And then they get sucked out. You're afraid to get sucked out. And then they get sucked out.
It's deeply satisfying.
And Donovan is like, switch seats with me. Like, what? He wants her to unbuckle to save him?
Right. He thinks that he has, leverage over her and she's going to listen to him in this moment.
I know. He's
it's great.
strangling her.
These guys are so stupid.
She takes a fork and like stabs him in the hand and then he like flies out.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, the plane crashes and she
And can I say,
swims out.
the CGI is a little cartoonish at this point. I think it's okay because the tone is so extreme. But, it's, I don't know. I mean, I love the comedy of this scene as much as I didn't really believe it.
Right, because Donovan is outside her window.
Yeah.
And she just folds her window shade down.
It's
like,
so funny. Yeah.
I don't want to look at him anymore. Like, he's a goner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she swims out of the plane.
Yeah, the plane crashes into the ocean.
Yeah.
And
And then the next thing we know, she's waking up on the beach.
Yeah.
So at this point, now we're in Act 2 and we're like, okay, we are somewhere in Thailand, somewhere in a remote island. We have no idea where we are. And everyone dies except for Linda and Bradley. So she wakes up and finds Bradley alive, but really badly injured. He's got one of those leg wounds that you're like, that should turn like gangrene and like he should die.
Yeah,
of
it's
an
very Paul
infection.
Sheldon. Yeah.
Yes. She's like Annie Wilkes.
Yeah, although I'm rooting for Linda Little.
Yeah, no.
I'm rooting for Annie Wilkes.
For sure.
Although Annie Wilkes, also tragic, also sad, but also admirable. Very similar dynamic, although, the more we get to know Annie Wilkes, the less we're rooting for her. But initially she seems quite nice,
Yeah, I mean, he's out of it. He's unconscious, basically. She builds him like a little shelter.
Hut. Yeah.
She starts using all her survival skills.
Yeah.
She sets up a thing to collect fresh rainwater. I mean, I'm here like, should I be taking notes? Because what if this happens to me?
Yeah, it's kind of like 9 to 5 with Laura Croft.
I know. So when he finally wakes up, like, I think he's like, oh, it's just us? Crap.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part of it. It's not even the leg. It's not the fact that the plane crashed. Like, oh, you?
Yeah.
I'm stuck with you?
Yeah. And he's kind of like, can't we just build a raft? Like, why can't... And she's like, no, we have to, like, you're in no condition. Like, we can't just do that.
The way Dylan O'Brien is playing this is so good and is consistent throughout the entire film. The character is despicable and so funny. It's very much Coyote in the Roadrunner, and he's always the Coyote in this sense. And in these early scenes are so funny because he's still talking to her like they're still in the office.
Yes.
It's so absurd that
he's
he can't...
like, you work for me. And
Yeah.
she was like... That's hilarious. And I think she abandons him for 2 days.
Yeah, her sin is that she's overzealous. She's like really into the survivalist thing. But like otherwise she's completely aware of everything. He's almost like, the entitlement is sickening.
Yeah.
Because even in this context, it's like, why aren't you working harder?
Yeah, exactly. And he's not like, oh my gosh, thank you for saving my life. I don't know if he actually ever thanks her. I think maybe later.
In his way, much later.
I think much later,
Yeah.
but it's like, dude.
And why is he, he always has a reason for saying everything that he does to her.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not always, the motivations aren't always good.
So she abandons him, but then eventually he's like, he tries to do everything she does, and he fails miserably,
Which is fun to watch.
Yeah. And finally he comes back because he's basically watching her like just live her best life.
Oh, she's like Tom Hanks in Castaway. She's creating a world and she's loving it. And she's even finding moments to relax. And he does not have the MacGyver skills that she does.
No. And the food that she ends up making, I mean, she's finding fresh fruit. She has meat. I mean, we should talk about her and that boar she kills.
Yeah, and the boar, that's the only other situation I could think of where I thought, okay, the CGI is a little obvious.
Way over the top.
But at the same time, if it were more gritty, I wonder if it would be unwatchable. Because it's so hard. Would it be like the bear attack scene in The Revenant with DiCaprio? I mean, would it be just so difficult?
I think in reality, like, she would have stabbed the boar and it would have died. This thing, like, comes back for round 2 and then round 3.
Yeah.
That's what makes it crazy and cartoonish.
But it also looks like a creature out of the Star Wars prequels.
It looks like one of those rodents of unusual size.
That's the thing. It looks like a creature in a horror film, which is fine. Because I'm rooting for her, not the creature. But
of course.
But again, like there's an artifice problem here. It's okay. It's fine. Like I think that's the only thing that keeps the movie from being perfect. Sometimes I think the CGI is a little too cartoonish.
Yeah.
But no, it's satisfying and quite gory.
Yes. So eventually, when he's like, all right, we should work together, and she's like, okay, well, your leg's getting better. She kind of takes him on a tour of the island. Now, at one point before this tour, we see her somewhere else on the island, and she sees a boat.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my gosh. But she backs away, and she goes, not yet. Kind of like, it's not time.
Yeah.
And so she leaves, and we think, okay, we know that there's something on the other side of this island. We don't know what it is. We don't know if there's like a resort over there. We don't know who's on this boat or anything like that. But they go on a little tour together, and she's showing him different things like, don't eat these kind of berries or whatever. And she's like, hey, don't go to this side of the island because there's really bad like poison ivy or something. And so she scares him so that he doesn't discover what she's discovered. And I was like, dang, how long is she going to do this? Yeah, what did you think about that moment?
The fact that she sees the boat and doesn't tell him, I think this is great because this is not about the innocent person and the corrupt person. This isn't 9 to 5. This isn't the Devil Wears Prada. This is someone who we love her because we see how much she's suffered. But her motivations are not pure.
Yeah.
And that's great because that is not the easy choice. Mm-hmm. And there's such a danger of making the audience not like the character anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
If she had played it wrong and if the movie had tonally screwed that up, but we totally get it. Mm-hmm. Because it's one thing it's the key is those initial scenes. If he had expressed remorse, if he had broken down, then if he had
had showed any humanity,
but the fact that he's still a prick from the very get-go, and especially in this pivotal moment, it's like, oh yeah, no, we get it. This is wrong, but it's a movie, so do your worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're watching her basically have a makeover on this island. She only gets better looking, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And he kind of just really stays the same. I'm surprised they didn't have him grow out more of a beard or kind of get scruffier, which...
Well, it's like a boy. I mean, he's basically a boy. I think that's the idea.
Now that I think about it, he should have looked worse.
You think? I mean, he always looks, like he's Jim Chiseled.
How is he shaving, though? Like, he should have... Even a guy of his age could have an uneven facial hair.
You know, that does also make it very complicated too at the editing level. Like, okay, like how long was the beard? Like, no, just make her look great.
Yeah.
And, you know, occasionally give him some shirtless shots. He has a nude scene. And, you know, and that's you know.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've seen the movie twice. It's the first time I've thought of that. That's a really good point.
Yeah. Because they're there for, I don't know, what, weeks?
But again, it's like, I feel like he's such a boy in every sense. Even when we meet his girlfriend, they seem like children, especially compared to her. She seems like a grown-up. He always seems like a kid.
Yeah, we should mention that we do meet his fiance when they're in the office together. And it's...
she's pretty vacant and pretty vacant.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing really, like,
Yeah.
great about her. But, you know, we see her huge diamond engagement ring and... You know.
But we also see him interviewing attractive women prior to
Yes.
Linda to replace her. So he's a scumbag.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Totally. I'm not...
And the way he treats his superior, played by the wonderful Dennis Haysbert, that's also like a very telling thing because it's like, I mean, he's already pulling power plays. He's only been in this office for like a few minutes. Mm-hmm. But clearly he's an egomaniac.
Okay, so this is... we get some discoveries, some character discoveries. Linda teaches Bradley survival skills and to avoid the far side of the island, you know, that's filled with poisonous plants. And then one night while drinking homemade fruit wine, how she manages to do that is crazy. She confesses that she was once married to an abusive man and allowed him to drive drunk, leading to his death.
Well, first of all, let me quickly address the fruit wine. Considering what we know about the end of the film, do you think she really made it? It might. She might be full of crap in that sense.
That is
She may not have made
true.
everything. Remember?
That's true. She might not. You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I'm not like discounting her abilities. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's some things that, you know.
Okay, you're right. There's
Considering
definitely
how swanky, you know.
some duplicity going on.
Yeah.
Because she. I mean, yeah.
Because
There's
she
like
finds
sushi.
a knife. She finds a knife.
She does. He goes, wait, where'd you get that knife? She's like, oh, it just washed up on shore. And we don't think really anything about it.
Yeah. And
even though it looks like a very nice kitchen knife.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's been rusted.
And
or
she's like
anything
holding
like
the power totem in that sense. By
Yeah,
having it.
'cause he
she doesn't
keeps-
share it with him.
No, she is not going to share that knife.
Yeah.
And he wants it. And she's like, nope.
But yeah, all that to say, I now I kind of think like, oh, I bet she didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, not all of that stuff, but
because she made this like sushi plate one night,
right,
like a dipping sauce.
It's very specific.
You're
She's full of
right.
crap.
Okay.
But the scene you're talking about, the monologue, I'm like, well, if people do remember this in December of this year, December 2026, this is her Oscar scene.
Yeah. So she said she was married for 10 years and he was not a nice person, abusive to her. And he would get drunk and she would always take his keys away. And then that fateful night, she put the keys out on the table. So he would take the keys and drive drunk. And I'm like, do you think she's being totally honest about what happened?
No, and I think what we learn about her throughout the film, we just see how she's able to double cross Bradley. Not that we really have any problem with that, but at the same time, just like you know, I don't completely trust her version of the story as much as I feel like the emotions of it are real.
Yes.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I think I do suspect. I believe that she was a battered wife, and I certainly believe that it was a very painful, awful marriage. But exactly how her husband exited the world, I think that's very much up to debate. Yeah.
Unless he was just like one of those really, really bad drunks where just the idea of getting into a car, like, of course he's not going to drive correctly, you know?
But that's also the implication of the story is that, like,
Yeah.
you know, because she allowed him to do it, it's like, oh, okay, she basically killed him because she knew what would happen.
Right.
Not that it's really literally her fault, but, you know,
Right.
I think that's the implication. And that's interesting because it is almost, you know, it's like one of these things where being inactive will cause someone to die. And that's exactly what would have happened to Bradley.
Yeah,
It's
if
almost
she
like,
didn't do anything.
If she didn't do it, like, she could have let him die. And
Yeah.
instead she actively helped nurse him back to health.
Well, that's the other thing, though, that this movie doesn't address is how his leg healed and he didn't actually end up getting completely like an infection and then dying of a fever of some kind.
Well, I'll bet in the same magical place that she found the knife, I wonder if there were also some supplies.
Maybe
some
when
Neosporin.
Yeah, maybe when he was unconscious. Well, but she hadn't found that stuff yet.
Okay.
She hadn't found that stuff
But
yet.
I trust her abilities.
Okay.
And I mean, unless he has like shrapnel and I don't know. I mean, it looks gruesome. Yeah.
I'm just saying, in like every other kind of situation like this, it's always an infection situation.
Because it isn't the Paul Sheldon thing where he keeps breaking his leg, which is awful and painful.
No.
This is what we see.
It's just a flesh wound.
He can't. Yeah, he can't use his leg. And there's one time where he like really hurts himself trying to, but for the most part, he's pretty diligent about it. I mean, like he's basically the actor's on his back for a lot of this at the beginning of the second act.
She does almost fall off a cliff one time, and he does rescue her.
Yeah.
I think he does that because he realizes he can't survive without her, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing it for any other reason.
It's key for a lot of things too, and it's helping us have a false sense of security in him, which is great because we need that, and it's also his performance. I can't stress enough how good he is, Dylan O'Brien, in this movie. He's fantastic. He's just as good as her. It's a completely different kind of performance.
I kept waiting for his character to become a better person.
Right, and that's what we're supposed to believe. And that's why this scene you're talking about is so good, the nighttime confession scene with two of them, because I'm like, man, this feels like a different film.
Yeah.
In the best way. The film changes tone a lot. It reminds me, like the movie I'd compare this to in the most favorable way, although it's a different film in some ways, but War of the Roses.
Yeah.
I love that movie because you're rooting for both of them or one of them, but they're both awful in some way. And both movies are dark and violent and hilarious. Mm-hmm. So I think like you want to watch a good double feature with Send Help, watch The War of the Roses. Not the idiotic remake that came out last year. No, the original that Danny DeVito directed. It's great.
So at one point, Bradley offers to cook for her, and he secretly poisons her meal with berries, and she ends up, I don't know, falling over sick. And he then runs and gets this makeshift raft that he has secretly been building.
Oh
and
my God.
He like it's like Moana the first time she makes her raft and just gets slammed by the waves because it completely falls apart. But I think the funny part was when the first wave comes and he like makes it over, he's like, "F you, Linda." and it's just like, it's so funny because you're like, okay, he's been waiting for this moment for weeks.
It's so gleeful. It's so funny.
And then he ends up getting, completely torn apart.
Yeah, the wrath of God quickly knocks him off his stupid raft.
And she has to rescue him again.
Right, which is so funny.
And then she like throws up all over him while she's trying to bring him back.
Oh, that's such a Sam Raimi touch. It's so disgusting and so hilarious.
And she's deliberately throwing up in his mouth.
I stopped eating my popcorn at this point. I couldn't do it. And I was
disgusting.
I was watching the movie through my fingers and I was laughing so hard. Oh, I love this.
I actually think this was grosser than like any other part of the movie.
Oh, great. It's a lot. It's similar to a movie Raimi did earlier called Drag Me to Hell. Very similar. Like, it's so gross, but it's so funny at the same time.
Because she's like, come on, wake up. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, disgusting.
So gross. Yeah.
So she survived because he obviously misjudged the dosage. And, was he trying to actually kill her, you think?
Sure. Yeah, because then, he gets off the island and, he's like, I saved myself and no, there were no other survivors, no. Yeah. Don't go to that island. it was just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But he doesn't have the survival skills. And his raft is dinky.
And he's not intelligent. And he can't, unfortunately, like a lot of people of my generation and younger, we can't function without a cell phone. So he doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't read all those survival books. He has not watched every episode of Survivor.
Oh, I wish I could chat GPT how to make a raft. Hey, chat, how do you make a raft? I'm really glad you asked that question. That's a very thoughtful thing to consider. Like, oh my gosh.
He needs Richard Hatch skills.
Yeah.
Remember Richard Hatch?
Yes.
Now, who's the host of Survivor? It's what's his name?
Oh,
Is it
gosh.
Obst? What's his name?
Jeff Probst.
Probst. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
I knew it was gonna fly around. Yeah, these are
can't
like,
believe
I mean,
it.
this is all early aughts stuff, like
Yeah.
The Bachelor and The Weakest Link and all these shows.
Okay, so this scene though, after he wakes up,
Yeah.
so
So let's talk about this scene.
Yeah.
'Cause I won't name names because I love these guys, but some movie critics, a few of them who I love and I read their stuff all the time and I respect them, I completely disagree with them. This is the scene where she makes Bradley think that she's castrating him. It turns out she isn't.
Right.
But she paralyzes him with this special
octopus. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's paralyzed. And
He eats it willingly,
Yes.
and then he gets
Realizes-
paralyzed. But it's like being awake during a surgery,
Right.
which is how he's
which
feeling.
is so scary.
I mean, the look on his face, the acting skills of this dude in this scene,
Dylan O'Brien.
very
yes.
impressive.
Yeah, he's great. He's
very
terrific.
impressive.
Yeah, and it's like the hobbling scene in Misery. Except we do not see what is going on below neck level. We just see
Right.
that she takes a knife. We see that it's got blood on it, and we think that she is castrating him, and she's
Yeah.
telling him as such. She reveals that she isn't, and a lot of critics are like, "No, man, she should have done it. Like that's where this movie should go." And you know what? I applaud the film for surprising us for
Yeah.
one thing, because
Yeah.
it really does seem like, okay, the movie's not turning back from this moment. No, that's great, because that's, for one thing,
She doesn't want to actually hurt him. She wants to control him. That's
at this point, I would say she's not a monster. She's just wants some good old fashioned revenge.
well. Do you think there's any part of her that's hoping for a romantic relationship at this point?
Maybe, because it's like but it's like a sick kind of. But
Yeah.
I think the movie on some level is some kind of dark love story. I do.
Yeah.
I do think that exists there. I wouldn't say the movie's a love story, but I do think there is a bit of that, especially in the second act, especially around this time.
Sure.
When after this, it really is about them working together.
I
Partly
really-
because he's trying to figure a new angle, but also because I think because they're stuck, I do think they find each other attractive. She does see him naked.
I don't
You and I both
think
had the same
he
reaction.
ever-
Hey, he didn't skip gym day, clearly.
I don't think he ever finds her attractive. I think he
Oh.
pretends to.
Okay.
And I think she does find him attractive because, she sees him naked, she sees his butt, whatever. And I think there's a part of her that's like, if I do enough, if I survivor enough, he'll eventually come around.
That's interesting, because I definitely thought there were times where he's
No, I think he's not at all.
Never
I think
enter.
I don't.
Interesting.
I think he's only playing along because his life is on the line.
And it's interesting that other than the scene where she sees the boat and we hear out loud what she's thinking, we never hear their inner monologue.
No.
So it's as much a surprise to us as it is to them when we realize, oh, this person is hiding some big cards up their sleeve.
Yeah, exactly. But so back to really quick the castrating thing. If
yeah.
she had actually castrated him, I mean, there's a chance that he would have died from that and never come back. Obviously, never would have come back mentally from
I think
that.
she would have stitched him up because she probably saw it on Survivor. I would give her the benefit of the doubt. I think she knows how to do that kind of surgery because she probably saw it on TV or read about it.
That's true. But I just don't think, again, I think she wants to control him. And there is maybe that glimmer of like, hey, maybe one day we'll,
Yeah, I agree. 'Cause I just think it's a smarter choice at the screenplay level. Because then if you stick with that, and you stick with that idea, not only is he understandably trying to murder her at every turn, which is an obvious way to go, you're eventually going to have them tussle at the end of the movie, be like, you took my balls!
Yeah.
We don't need that.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's enough here that's outrageous.
I'm not even a man anymore. It's
Right.
like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You're already a terrible person. I don't care that you don't feel like you're not a man.
It's more fun that she does this 9 to 5 thing to him as opposed to, something that's really grisly. And,
That's actually a crime.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it is. There's a lot of crimes, but yes.
Lots of crimes being committed.
Yeah.
All right. So while harvesting some fruit, Linda does encounter Bradley's fiance, Zuri, who arrives by boat in that same spot that she originally saw the
secret
boat,
spot.
the secret spot. And so Zuri's with some kind of guide, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Linda, like, is he alive? Is he alive?" And so she reluctantly agrees to take Zuri and the guide to Bradley. And this,
The way McAdams is playing it, like you could totally see her thought process, which is great. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take you right too. Up this trail that clearly does not go straight back to the beach. Yeah,
I'm clearly going to take you the long, dangerous route.
Yeah.
She takes them over to that unstable cliff where she had fallen and almost died.
Yeah.
And pretends to tie her shoes so that they go on ahead.
Yeah.
And then those two guys
They eat
basically fall off the cliff. Yeah. And she doesn't save them.
Right.
She doesn't even try.
No.
You know, I think obviously she wanted this to happen. Do you think any part of her is going, should I help
Yeah,
them?
this is terrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she needs to control the situation, and it's not helping that Zuri's her name.
Yeah.
It's not helping that Zuri's like, oh my god, when you get back, you can like get your old job back.
Yeah.
It's like, jeez, it's the worst thing to be saying at this moment.
It's like, oh my gosh, you saved the love of my life. And Linda's just like, I hate you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're everything I dislike in this world. So she returns to the camp, obviously upset, withdrawn. She decides she tells Bradley, like, I'm taking a sick day.
It's so smart at the screenplay level. It is, because it's like it's not something she just brushes off. This is not, a movie I like, but this is not Rebecca De Mornay in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, where it's like it's all about, keeping this character. No, it's like Linda Little, like she is more of a real person than Bradley is. Bradley is, there's something almost like, like the
psychopath about him?
like the evil Michael Scott. He's like an evil Michael Scott. Although maybe that's a redundant thing to say, but
Michael Scott had a heart, though.
He did, and he eventually proved himself over and over again. But it took a while. But all the same, like here, like I love the choice of like, oh man, she's broken about this.
Yeah.
It's not committing a double murder is not an easy thing to do.
This is like the third person she's unintentionally murdered in her life.
Unintentionally.
But allowed it to happen.
Sure.
She didn't directly murder them.
Isn't that interesting though? Because but that's also what is implied with her late husband.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like she's constantly doing this, and and it's interesting that we don't exactly see what happened on the cliff initially, and then later on we see explicitly what she did. Mm-hmm. But it is what you're saying. It's almost like it's a murder without fingerprints, but it's still what she did or did not do is the reason why they died.
And then Bradley is like, well, I guess I gotta go find food, and so he goes hunting, and then this is where he discovers Zuri.
It's so funny. It's so comical because like her dead hand is sticking out of the sand with the ring. It's so funny.
But it's just her arm.
Yeah.
Like it somehow got detached from her body. Like
It's
what?
so
Was she
funny.
attacked by a shark? Like
Maybe. Yeah.
we don't know. But it's just this hand sticking out of the sand, and he recognizes it because he knows her ring, I guess.
It's definitely contrived, but it's such a funny visual.
Yeah.
And it, because on the one hand, Dylan O'Brien is playing it very powerfully, but the contrast is like, it's such a Looney Tunes kind of thing.
So he confronts Linda, and she claims the deaths were accidental, but Bradley accuses her of murder and attacks her. And then they start fighting. Bradley gouges Linda's eye before she stabs him, and he escapes. And then he eventually runs to the other side of the island because he's like, there's something fishy going on here. He
goes to the part of the island she told him never to go.
Yep.
And it's a visual of like, okay, that's the forbidden part of the island. And he goes.
Discovers a luxurious beach house.
Yeah.
And Linda follows, revealing she had known about the house all along.
Yeah.
And confesses to causing Zuri and the captain's fatal fall. So they basically run over to the house.
They run to the house and they have one final confrontation, and and the hands change a few times in the sense of like, okay, who has the upper hand here?
She has a shotgun, and he's kind of on his knees pleading for his life. He claims that he loves her and wants to remain on this island forever. And it was really hard for me watching this because I thought, maybe he is telling the truth, even though I knew he wasn't.
And I feel like but I would actually counter that and say that I feel like there's a part of him that is a reality, because that's the only reality he's known for how long. Does this establish how long they've been on the island?
No, we don't
I
know.
I don't know if it's months. It's not years, but it's months and months and months.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be
Like a season?
I don't think it's more than 3 months.
Okay.
I think that we're kind of in the 2 to 3 month range here.
But when it's just him with the person he can't stand, I do feel like after a while, like, well, this is what life is now. Mm-hmm. So I do think there is a part of him that, like, well, okay, I'm just going to...
Because he's like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
She's going to kill me. So he does the only thing he knows how to do, which is probably what he's done to many women in his life. It's like, I love you. Don't be mad. He's just kind of psychopath narcissisting his way out of this.
Yeah. He's like Patrick Bateman.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But she's the murdering one.
Yeah, indeed.
So
he doesn't have the guts to be. And at one point, he almost literally did not have the balls to be Patrick Bateman.
So while he's, confessing his undying love for her, which is not true, she notices that he's concealing a weapon. Bradley gets the shotgun out of her hands, but discovers it's unloaded. And then Linda overpowers and kills him with a golf club in a final ironic
But
twist.
it quickly cuts away, though. I would have liked to have seen more of the impact. I would have.
You want to see her hit his head off his neck?
I want to see her smash him to pieces. I do.
Oh,
man! I think that would have been great, because then it quickly flash cuts to a year later.
Yeah. So it says a year later, Linda has been rescued and reinvented herself as a wealthy and beloved celebrity, capitalizing on public interest in her ordeal as the apparent sole survivor of the crash. At a celebrity golf tournament, she promotes a film adaptation of her best-selling memoir and announces her intentions to write a self-help book, saying, "No help is coming, so you'd better start saving yourself."
And then we see her getting to her swanky car with no roof, and she's driving by a beachside road. She's got her parrot with her, or her bird with her.
Her bird, yeah.
And she looks at the camera and smiles, and the film ends. And this feels like an obvious choice. That's the reason why I don't think it's a bad ending. I just don't love it, because it's like, this I could have predicted. The harder ending is to show her kill him, and then she just lives on the island for the rest of her life.
Right.
Just show her at the house watching the sun go up, go down.
Now I'm like, okay, what? She kills him and she decides, I'm just going to reinvent myself because there's nothing left for me. And now I'm going to learn how to golf, which is what all these dude bros have been doing that I've hated forever.
So is the ending indicating that she's become Bradley?
Right.
That's a problem. I don't love it. On some logistical level, it makes sense, because after the first rescue boat didn't come back, it's like, well, they're going to send another one, because what happened to Zuri? What happened to the two people that went out?
Right.
So presumably the second boat comes out, she plays victim, like, no, I'm the only survivor. And presumably she could hide all the corpses,
Well, there's only one corpse she has to hide, Bradley's. The other two fell into the ocean.
Yeah, although they got the hand sticking out with the ring.
Well, she swallowed the ring.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You're totally right. I forgot about that detail. But yeah. So no, it's not a bad ending, but it feels like an alternate ending. Like, I wonder if they originally shot something darker or more bleak, or even more like despairing, showing her by herself. But the thing is, she's a lone warrior.
I think it would have been.
I think she's fine by herself.
More obvious for her to stay there. The reason this ending made me think that this whole movie could be interpreted as a dream. That maybe while she's on the plane going to Bangkok with these guys, she has this whole fantasy about the plane crashing and her having to like nurse Bradley back to health, and him, hopefully falling in love with her, but then it turns into a nightmare.
That's interesting that you think the whole film could be just a projection of her imagination.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Interesting.
Well, when you live alone and you only talk to your bird, maybe she's a little losing it.
No, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
She's a character, but at the same time, in the way I would say, like, some of my office workers that I've worked with were characters, but who they are exactly when they're alone, like, are they just eccentric, or is there a danger there?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's, with her, you're skirting it, because not only do we learn about her past, but we also say like, oh, this is someone who's into like violent survival stories.
Yeah. The other interpretation, and maybe it could have gone this way, is you have the same ending, but there's another scene after that where it's her still on the island dreaming about being this other person that gets rescued and changes her life.
Interesting.
But
yeah,
she
like there's
never-
one more scene after
Yeah,
to fade out.
but
yeah.
she never does.
No, I like that. I mean, I would have been fine with the final scene of her like sitting on the deck, looking out at the ocean waves. She's got the place to herself, and
Yeah, but the owners would have come back.
She's having a moment of bliss,
Yeah.
and then she sees a boat coming in the distance, and the film ends there. I would have been fine with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we don't know what happens.
Because I think her journey, in a sense, is about the purity of nature versus the idiocy of man. Because I think she represents what's pure and purely, cruel about nature versus mankind, who is, manipulative and also cocky in the sense that we're young, we're gonna be alive forever, and like nothing can hurt us, and then until it does.
Okay. So I think there could be like a dreamlike situation because some of the scenes are so just not realistic, like her with the boar, Zuri's hand. There's like a lot of the castration, like
It's slapstick, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like slapstick cartoon, but like again, slapstick cartoon the way the Evil Dead movies are, which is like
Yeah.
it's wonderful because it's really sick, but also funny and like an EC Comics Tales from the Crypt kind of way.
So if we take it at face value, what does it say about Linda that she kind of becomes like Bradley?
Yeah, that's I kind of have a problem with that, but at the same time, I mean, what is the movie telling us? That you need to be a literal warrior in order to survive in the workplace? Is that what it's saying? You can't just be someone who watches Survivor. You need to be a survivor in order to get ahead.
Yeah.
Because he was a pretender. She never was. She was always the real deal. She was always Ellen Ripley. And the island brought that out of her.
Yeah.
And if anything, it made him de-evolve into the child that he always was.
Right. And then he didn't survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't outthink her. So yeah, no, celebrating. Hey, you want to survive in life, you got to be a bloodthirsty yuppie. So well done, Linda Little. She doesn't sell out,
Yeah.
but she,
She does. She sells out at the end.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know if that is it selling out or she's just lying.
Or is she
Because-
just using the system because she knows how
There
to?
you go. Yeah, because I mean, she commits murder to get ahead, but at the same time,
This is like her fourth murder.
yeah. Well, what's four murders? Come on. It's like there's a Michael Caine movie that came out in 1990 called A Shock to the System. It's very similar about a guy who's not respected at work and he kills all of his coworkers one by one in order to get ahead. And and that movie was a satire of the workplace as well. So I think it's a similar idea. It's this idea of like, well, the system sucks because it's unfair. And and there's always a change of who the heads are, and in this case, it's like no, like you want to get ahead of the system. You got to have the immunity idol at the end. You got to be the one holding the torch.
Yeah, you're never gonna just make it based on your hard work alone
Yeah.
because no one's gonna acknowledge you.
So you right now listening to this at your cubicle when you should be answering the phones at this publishing company.
But you're
You
really
think about how you can get ahead.
yeah. Well, and the whole thing where she's like, nobody's going to come and save you. I feel like that's a common refrain right now in a lot of like social media circles right now where it's like, well, the government sucks. It's not going to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. You got to do it all on your own. Like you need to learn the skills on your own. You need to like find your own community. There's just like this general message that people are sharing saying like get with it, like do what you need to do, stop being lazy, or go over, take the shortcuts you need to take to like get where you need to be.
Well, yeah, I think that is probably her mantra. This idea of like, yeah, like it's all about survival. It's all about being the last warrior standing, as opposed to him. It's like, don't worry, bro. Don't worry, man. You'll get ahead. It'll work out. Don't worry. Be happy, man. It's okay. Don't worry, dude, bros.
Yeah.
Be your best, man. Show them the Riz. You got it. You
Well,
got
like,
this.
I don't know. It's like I'm not at that point rooting for either message kind of then, because they're both like
It's cynical.
really dour.
It's very cynical.
Yeah.
But considering the circumstances, this is also a revenge fantasy.
Oh, totally.
And the revenge fantasy is great. It's rich here because it's thorough. It's not only about how she overcomes him physically, she overcomes him psychologically, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And she actually gets him, she gets him to apologize, but he also has an axe behind his back, which says so much about him.
Yeah.
So no, again, like I think, but I love that about this movie. The obvious choice is to make her the total victim. And to make him the total bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
He never ceases to be bad, but he's multifaceted, and that has to do with the fact that he's lying to her, but also has to do with the fact of how vulnerable he is. He almost, he thinks he's being castrated at one point. I love it because she, you know how much I love Fatal Attraction, but Alex is broken, but at the same time, there's something sympathetic about her, and at the same time with
Linda.
With Michael Douglas's character in Fatal Attraction, you root for him. But he's awful. I like that kind of dynamic because that's hard. It's harder for the actors to pull off. It's harder for the screenwriter to make work. And Sam Raimi, who's done so many amazing movies, this is maybe one of the most difficult things because it's about two people stuck on an island.
Yeah.
That's hard. Even when the movie gets spectacular, the best stuff in this movie is just them talking. That scene you talk about, the campfire scene, like the best scenes in this movie are Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien just really sinking their teeth into these roles, and they kill it.
She basically says, I won't be ignored, Bradley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she does do that.
So here's to all the Linda Littles of the world.
I really liked this movie. I would definitely see it again, later on, just to see things that I haven't seen before or gain a different perspective. Because I think it deserves a second watch.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, now that I know the ending, to see those oh, yeah, I didn't notice that before.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah, having seen it twice, it gets better as it goes along. I wish I had seen it a second time in the theater on opening weekend because it was fun.
You want to see all that?
I love those kinds of experiences. I saw The Last Jackass in the theater, and there was that. It was a lot of for 90 minutes.
Were people really vocal during Send Help?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, although I got to say, I was sitting next to my buddy Michael McCartney, so he and I were probably the loudest because we're freaking out. Because it's it's not that Rachel McAdams has never done a violent movie. We've already talked about Red Eye, but this is so much more extreme than Red Eye.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so surprising how far this movie goes, but it's it's Sam Raimi. Why are we surprised that this movie is crazy fun?
Yeah. How many stars do you give it?
3.5. At times the CGI lets the movie down, but I think it's forgivable because those scenes are so crazy and fun on some level. And like I said, I have problems with the final fade out, but I like the interpretations you're offering, and I think it's interesting to consider that it may not be exactly as surface level as we think. I still feel like there's a better ending out there, but I do love the movie. I love this film.
Okay.
I think it's the first great movie of 2026.
I would almost give it 4 stars just because I was into it from beginning to end, and I never knew where it was going to go. Couldn't get ahead of it. I thought I knew what was going to happen. I did not. I thought I knew with the characters what they were going to do or what they were thinking or how they were going to evolve, but it was not cut and dry at all.
This is one of my favorite actresses since Red Eye, and this is, a killer performance, but Dylan O'Brien, I'll see anything he does after this. Now, you have my attention.
Yeah, for sure. He's
great.
He was so good. I was not expecting to like him as much. I knew I'd like her because she doesn't... There's no false notes with Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it, but she manages.
She's always fantastic.
Yeah. But with him, I was like, who's this no-name guy? I don't
Oh, who's this no-name guy? That's so mean. He did stuff,
Well, I know, but I'm like, Maze Runner, that's you're in a teenager,
Okay, so it's not our demographic. But you know what? The fact that it's he's a lesser-known actor, that is key. Because if she was paired with someone who's a bigger name, it might have been an imbalance. It always works when you cast someone who's lesser known because it's you believe them as the character.
Exactly.
You're not questioning whether they should be in this movie or not.
Well, and if it's somebody really famous, sometimes you're like, well, they're not going to kill him off.
Well, Brad Pitt's fantastic, and he would have been great in the role, but I like that it's this guy.
Yeah.
Because then it's okay, there's no movie star hierarchy, there's no sense of,
Yeah.
Again, you don't... the screenplay is nutty and unpredictable anyway, but it's so much more so. It's like, oh, this guy, I mean, he may not even be alive in 5 minutes,
Right. And I don't want to see her. I want to see her with, it's like he's her boss, but they're in the same age bracket, basically. If it had been like an older guy, I think the
with
dynamic,
Pitt, it would have been an older
the
guy.
dynamics would have been weird. He may have been psychologically smarter than her. If he, does that make sense?
Of course it is. I mean, that's one of the things, like, I know we're talking about this movie, but that was one of the things about Misery that kind of threw me. Because when I read Stephen King's novel, Annie Wilkes always struck me as much older. Like gray hair, older.
Yeah.
At least 20 years so than Paul Sheldon. And in the movie, you've got, Kathy Bates, who's imposing, but she could also, she's a beautiful lady. She could also be really lovely. And she also could be really motherly. That threw me. I was not expecting that. And it made that performance so much more unpredictable. Like, this is not the character the way I pictured her in the book. So, yeah, I think, the fact, again, you're right. You're like, the fact that he is visibly younger, but also
it's like he's her
vulnerable.
boss, but they're...
But we get the fact that it's
yeah.
unfair. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the whole point of it, too.
Exactly.
It's like, man, this is so wrong.
Yeah. It's like, imagine if it was like her boss who was acting like this, but it was like the dad, like the older guy, where she obviously could overpower him in strength because he's like an elderly man.
Sure.
Like, no. I think
it would have been fun to have Bruce Campbell in this movie as a dad. It would have been so cool to see him. But no, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Any final thoughts?
See it. It's on Hulu now, right?
I don't know. Let me see. I'm not sure. How did we watch it?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is on Hulu. Well, I watched it because a friend of mine purchased it and he shared it with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's on Disney Hulu now.
Well, it's on YouTube, Google, and Google Play. It's for like $30.
But I think it's on the Hulu Disney thing.
Okay.
Like when I pull up our Disney Plus account, it's like, watch Send Help. Like, really? Disney? Cool.
Yeah. Okay, maybe it is on Hulu.
It's like you could watch The Princess and the Frog. You could watch The Princess Diaries or Send Help.
Just put the kids to bed first.
Please put the kids. Do not let your children see this. They will never get on a plane again.
No. Okay. Well, I think we did it. And that concludes our discussion of Send Help.